Hi, this is Rich. I wanted to talk to you today about having water for disaster preparedness. It really is a crucial, maybe the most crucial thing that you need to think about when you're talking about stocking up for an emergency. Stick with me because in a minute here, I'm going to show you how you can be assured that you will always have an unlimited, yes, unlimited supply of drinking water that you will need in the event of an emergency or prolonged disaster. A supply that you will never run out of because you can always make more. Sounds crazy, I know, but I'll get to that in a minute. So we all know that after air, drinking water is by far the most crucial ingredient for survival in the case of an emergency or a disaster of some sort. In fact, without drinking water, most people will only survive around 3 to 4 days. So having a dependable source of clean drinking water is an absolute necessity. So if you start to think about how much water a person needs to survive per day, you can see right away that for a prepper or someone who's wanting to kind of be ready for anything, water storage or purification ability is high on the list of things needed in order to truly be ready for whatever may come. One of the things that people who are concerned about this type of scene like to do is store water away somewhere so that if the public water system were to go down or become contaminated, they would have a supply of X amount of days to be ready, with the hope that whatever supply they have at the time of the event would be enough to get them through to the other side of the event, or at the very least until things settle down enough to get out and search for water. But what if the amount of water you have stored up isn't enough to carry you through that period? Then you could be in some real trouble. Now, most people in this instance think that they either need to store enough water or you have to have maybe iodine tablets or a filtration system, and all those are really great. But there is a kind of an end-all be-all solution to this problem. There's an invention out there that can literally make water out of thin air. So this is a device that needs only two things: power, more on this later, and air. Yes, air. Crazy, huh? You might be thinking that this is some super cutting edge technology that is so bleeding edge that it's unreliable or incredibly difficult to operate, or is maybe even unproven. What I'm going to tell you about is a simple, proven technology that is in existence today. It is being used right now around the world to make water out of thin air. What I'm talking about is a machine called an atmospheric water generator. Atmospheric water generator. Now, these devices are able to literally create water out of thin air. So picture this. You could be in a disaster situation where you are in a bunker of sorts or out on some remote property that you own. And this property may have no water on it at all. With a pretty simple solar setup, and that's what I was going to say about the power, you can power these things with solar. So, if you're counting on the grid, you don't have to worry about that because the solar system would power this machine. Anyway, if you have a solar setup and an atmospheric water generator, you can make all the water you need to survive daily. Crazy sounding, I know. So these units are available in the commercial market right now, and you can get one easily. There are a couple of big companies that make great units. A couple I know of are Aquaboy, that's Aquaboy altogether, no space. And the other is GenAQ, GENAQ. I'll show you a picture of a couple of these units here just to give you an idea of what they look like. The first is a large unit for high volume. I believe this unit makes 30 gallons per day. Now these are around $20,000 or so to start, I believe. Okay, so the second one here is a small unit for home use. You can see it here on the far right side in this kitchen. It produces 2 to 5 gallons per day and is around $1,900. Now I'm not associated with either of these companies, but I understand they make great ready-made commercial units. So you can look into those if you like. The only issue with the commercially available units is the price. They're pretty steep. So if you're interested in getting one of these to increase your disaster preparedness, then check them out. If you think that this is something you might be interested in, but the cost is prohibitive, then follow my channel because as time goes on, we're going to look into setting up a low-cost DIY version of one of these machines. As I mentioned earlier in the video, these machines are based on simple science, and the actual basics of these devices are not very complex. I think that most people could put one together with basic hand tool type skills. And the cost for a survival type unit for a typical family might end up being in the $300 to $400 range with a DIY type application. If you like this video, please click the like button. Also subscribe and hit the bell notification icon. for more information similar to this as we go through this series. Thanks for watching.